Boxing Day has arrived. Only one more day and it would be the 27th. And my ever optimistic mother would always have said, "Oh well, that's Christmas over with then, isn't it?" Which as a small boy used to drive me into, I won't say terror, but it used to, well, terror is not far short of it really, because we'd be in my beloved Walthamstow with my wonderful family, and it would mean that I would very, very soon now have to come back to the Isle of Sheppey. Apologies to my friends on the Isle of Sheppey Facebook page. Nowadays I miss it like mad, but in the mid-50s to early 60s, I'm afraid it was no substitute for Walthamstow. Anyway, what am I going to do today? I'm going to have another walk around, pop into the pub for a muse, and then go home and watch some videos. So here we go. Well, happy Boxing Day today. And today I'm in town again and just gonna walk in and have another couple of beers and try this little miracle into in the boozer. So got to get across the road. I'm a bit short on battery power, so I'll have to keep this short and sweet. Well, I'm saying so far so good, although I haven't actually taken any of the files out of this camera yet and stuck them on my computer and tried to edit with them, so I might have a shock coming there, but probably it's not going to be anything we can't get over. But so far the ease of use of this thing is just amazing. You know, I spend so much time setting up the big camera on the gimbal and got to do everything separately, and then you got to worry about the microphone and all that. Here you just switch it all on and it starts working. It's just bloody amazing. So all this is knocking on wood, of course, for good luck. They'll always get surprises. Anyway, we'll see. Well, we're here again, so here we go. Oh, they're not open yet. Shit. Maybe they don't open till 12:30, so I'll have to come back. It's 12 o'clock. I just naturally assumed that they'd be open their older opening time, you know, which used to be about 11, but they've never got back to that even in this day and age. So I reckon they'll be open at 12:30, so I'll just have to sit around here and think about stuff to say. It's all part of the filmmaker's dilemma. But we're doing all right over the holiday so far. This little camera has helped because it's so much easier to mess around with and to operate that it gives me more time to think about something to say. And I thought of a small video that I could do this morning, and I just went and shot it. It's all in the house. Didn't need much shooting, but there we are. You know, so we're not doing too bad. And look, even in here, it's a dark environment. There's plenty of light for this little camera. It's amazing. Absolutely, you don't have to mess around with it at all. The only thing I've done is just to clip the wide angle lens on it to give me a bit more of a field of view, and it's working. I can see on the screen that there's not as much depth of field as I would have got with my Canon, but that's got a huge lens on it, and you know, whatever. So that's what you trade off. But this is just so easy. I like the way it tracks my face too. You see that? Isn't that cool? Anyway, I hope you're all having a nice Christmas so far, which is going to carry on until New Year's Eve. So plenty of time yet for you boozers to get your Christmas hangovers all sewn up. So far I'm resisting, and I hope that carries on. Of course, you know, in the life of someone like me, nothing is certain, but I'm hopeful. Heineken Zero. I spent all afternoon yesterday, should I say, all yesterday afternoon cooking my Christmas dinner. I'd lovingly mixed up a whole bowl of batter to make Yorkshire puddings, and I roasted some parsnips, which are very hard to find and quite expensive, and eventually it was all ready and I dished it up, and when I finished I realised that I'd forgotten to include the parsnips on the plate, and I hadn't even cooked the batter for the Yorkshire puddings. So what am I going to do now? Well, I'll probably cook the Yorkshire puddings this afternoon when I go back, but I'm not going to have another turkey dinner tonight. I've got one great big fat slice of turkey breast to go, so I'm probably going to have that tomorrow. I bought a nice steak that I was going to have on Christmas Eve. Was it a couple of nights ago anyway? Only just as I was about to put it on, Poi called and asked me if I wanted to go to dinner with them, which yes I did, so duly did and had a good time. So I'll probably have that steak tonight, but I'm going to cook those Yorkshire puddings anyway. Probably end up, I think they freeze, so I mixed up a lot of batter, so I think I'm going to get 2 decent sized Yorkshire puds out of that. But it's all experiment. I never cook them, so I don't know how big they get, you know. So anyway, we'll see. Sitting here, I love to talk to people, but it always takes the same path when I do. Sooner or later, they're going to ask me where I'm staying. They're going to ask me, is this my first visit here? Or they're going to ask me, you know, how long am I staying for? The answers to which I kind of dread. And yet, it's only grab chai, cup and cup. And yet the answers to which I kind of dread. How long are you staying here? I live here. Their faces start to go blank at that point. Another English bullshitting bastard. But if they draw me deeper into the conversation, where do you live in? Where do you live? Well, you know, I don't live in Patong Beach. I live in Katu. Blah blah blah. I have a house there. Well, again, they think I'm bullshitting. But the final nail in the coffin is, what part of England are you from? Well, I could lie and say I was born in Chatham. That's what I did the last time. But if I say, well, actually, I live in America, I'm a US citizen. That's the end, you know. They're never going to believe what if I told them it was daylight outside, even if the sun is shining in through the windows, they wouldn't bloody believe me. So yeah, I don't want to lie, you know. I could just seamlessly say, oh, I'm, you know, here for a couple of weeks. I'm going back on January the 3rd. I'm staying at a nice hotel just down the road. I could say it's my first time here, blah, blah, blah. I could say I've been here a couple of times in the past, so I've come back and I like it. It's actually easier if I do that, but I just don't like lying. That's how I like bullshitting, I don't know. But that is a little problem I always face when I come in here. It's really quiet right now. I'm almost the only person in the bar. Again, it's back to its normal levels. But it will pick up later, but I'll be gone by then. Here is another one of my famous opinions. I was talking to a Liverpool supporter in here a couple of days ago, and I'm a Liverpool supporter. He found that difficult to believe, but yes, I am. But I'm watching the TV here now, and they're doing a piece about Manchester United having a new owner coming in, part owner, very rich man, and there's going to be big shake-ups in Manchester United. It got me thinking that Manchester United stroke Manchester City very similar to Liverpool stroke Everton, if you like. It doesn't matter how many titles they win, by how much, they will never ever be Manchester United. They will always be that Cinderella team that was the second best in Manchester for, let's say, 100 years. You know, I don't know the stats, I might be proved wrong there, but they'll never be Manchester United. And new owners could come in and take over Everton tomorrow and put £1 billion into it, and they'd be buying up players left, right and centre, and if they won the Premiership once, twice, 10 times, they would never be Liverpool. Again, they've spent the last 100 years being the Cinderella team in that city. I mean, they don't even have Liverpool in their title. At least Manchester City have got Manchester in their title. You know what I mean? It's good. What's happening to them is good for their supporters, but it don't make, for the rest of us, it don't make much difference. They'll still be the same bloody ones. To me, Manchester City is just boring. They'll always be the same bloody boring team. Anyway, it's only my humble opinion. Well, I'm probably going to have one more beer, then I'm going to go home. So I'll pack up this camera rig. Look, this is the bag it comes in. This is the camera, the gimbal, the microphone, everything, all in here. It's just magic. Really make my vlogging experience a hell of a lot easier. So I'm going to pack up now and go back. So you've seen enough of me walking around the street, so you won't need to see that anymore. So cheers, see you later. So what videos did you watch then? Well, very recently I've now begun collecting Blu-ray movies, because years ago here I bought a very cheap Blu-ray player, and I had a few discs for it, but they mysteriously disappeared. Well, that's no problem, it wasn't my collection. I've got a huge collection of Blu-rays and DVDs back in the USA, which I have to do something with, hopefully import them out here. But right now I'm just catching up on a few that I can't really do without, because I've been missing watching movies. And now out here, Blu-rays are incredibly cheap. Like, you can buy one for it's about 60 baht, so it's about 100 baht by the time you've paid the commission, and that is £2. And yes, I know they're shonky, but knock on wood, they've all played. Like last night I was watching Stargate, which is a movie I haven't seen for, well, pretty well since it came out, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I've been catching up this Boxing Day. I've already watched The Railway Children, the original, on Christmas Day. That's a must for me. But I also bought The Railway Children Return, which is not Jenny Agutter playing the mum in the old Victorian setting. This is a brand new story set in World War II, with lots of little links to the old story. Like it turns out, just in passing, that Jenny Agutter's her little brother Peter must have been killed in World War I, because there was a little version of that. No one mentioned, was it Phyllis, the younger sister? We don't know what happened to her. Anyway, The Railway Children Return. And another must for me was Time Stalkers. Now, back in the States, I've got Time Stalkers on disc. Can't remember if it's probably just a DVD. But out here, I couldn't buy it, and I didn't want to buy a new one from Amazon and get it shipped out here, because that's expensive. But I managed to find it available on YouTube, perfectly good. So I watched the Time Stalkers. I love time travel movies, and this is one of the first ones I ever saw. I remember seeing it back in the 80s on BBC TV at the time as a young guy, and I loved the story. So Time Stalkers, starring the then beautiful Lauren Hutton. For those of you like me that have girlfriends that like expensive handbags or expensive perfumes, if she asks you to buy some Lauren Hutton perfume or a handbag, this is the lady. So what else did I do? Puss in Boots. I think I watched that on New Year, on Boxing Day. So I've still got the sequel of Puss in Boots to watch, but I haven't watched that yet. And lastly, one that I didn't get to see because I can't find it anywhere, is another one of my Christmas favourites, or any time of the bloody year really, The Fog. This is John Carpenter's original 1980 movie. It was remade, but it's not a patch on the original, starring the gorgeous queen of the B-roll movies, the Adrienne Barbeau. So yeah, that's an absolute must. So that's what I did, and I enjoyed them. So cheers.